Hi, I'm Katy Hays, and I'm the author of The Cloisters. And The Cloisters is the story about a 15th century deck of tarot cards that is discovered at the Met Cloisters that may actually be able to tell the future. And today I'm going to read a few passages to you from the book, and we're just going to talk about a few of my favorite pages and what I was hoping to convey in them. You know what storage is like at the Met. Thousands of items, works of art that will never see the light of day, objects that aren't rare enough, aren't high quality enough, objects that are too niche or from the wrong duchy, you name it. For every object in the gallery, there are 24 in storage that have been deemed insufficient. Why did you do it? Why not, he said. It's not like you're not making questionable decisions in here every day, deciding what has value and what doesn't. When was the last time you took things without value seriously? That's right, you don't. You ignore everything that isn't anointed as special or valuable or rare. Those objects in storage, some of them have been missing for years and no one ever raised the alarm. Because those objects have been forgotten. I've given them a second life, and sure, I'm making some money while I do it. So one of the things I love about this passage is that it's kind of museum insider baseball. The reality is that so many museums have massive storage units where they keep so many items that the public will never see. I'm really interested in the way that this passage talks about how museums select which objects have value and which objects have meaning, right? I think that's something that museum curators do every day by deciding what to put on display. And I think these days it's also a question that in the 21st century, a lot of museums are really grappling with. How have we decided over the years what's important to display and what have we decided to overlook? I think a lot of those questions have to do with institutional decisions and kind of long-standing cultural biases. And so I'm really fascinated by the fact that museums are actually these huge repositories, right? They have so many objects in storage. Many of those storage objects could go missing and nobody would notice. My mother once had her fortune told, Rachel said. She went to a place on Lower Lex where they read her tea leaves. The woman who was doing the reading looked at her leaves and told her she wouldn't give her the reading. Whatever was in there was too dark and too sad. My mother always said she laughed it off, but I don't think it ever left her, that fear. I think, if it's real at all, that women would be better at it than men, said Rachel, looking out across the lake. Not because women are intrinsically more intuitive, it's because women can see new patterns better than men. Think, for example, of textiles. For centuries, women have been weavers, and those women have been able to see patterns and make inferences that create beautiful things. All we're doing is weaving together a life, trying to see where the different threads take us. So one of the things I really love about this passage is the way that we get so many different elements of fortune telling in here. I think the idea of having your tea leaves read is something that's still with us. I also think this idea that women weave together patterns as a way to kind of tell their own stories is really fascinating. And I think as an art historian, I'm really interested in the way textiles and textile art is particularly kind of coded feminine. And thanks so much for reading with me today. I really appreciated sharing some of my favorite passages with you. And you can pick up a copy of The Cloisters wherever books are on sale today.